But every time that we lose a game, our coaches, for multiple coaches, Al Golden, Randy Shannon, Mark Richt, and now Manny Diaz, all said that same thing. Well, we still have so much to play for. There's still we didn't have anything to play for on Saturday, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have anything to play for against Appalachian State where we barely, and I call that a 2017 game, right? And then last week, what happened? That luck ran out. Except for it wasn't like Kenny Pickett barely got pit by. No, Michigan State. And look, man, I listened to the post game that Mel Tucker had and everything. I read all the quotes, I still follow the Detroit Free Press, the news, because I'm from Detroit, so I see the sports section, the tweets that come down, and I still click them and I read them. This man called Miami some punks from front. Not like, okay, we're going to get out there and we're going to see. It's going to be noon. And look, I know that Miami doesn't own Hard Rock Stadium. I know it's not on campus. But I love the design because, the home sideline is in the shade all day, even at noon. And the away sideline is in the hot sun, bro, all day. And it's South Florida. It's a different kind of hot. If you've never been down here when it's in the summer, bro, it's a different kind of hot. So that should be the advantage. He said, no, we trust our hydration. We trust our, medical team. We trust our, strength and conditioning. We trust the gassers that we ran. But not only do we trust as Michigan State what we've been doing in East Lansing, we've talked to people. We've watched and we've seen on film. And you know who are some punks? Those guys wearing orange and green. So what are we going to do? We're going to be physical all day long. And the analogy that he used, he said, we're going to drag them into the ocean and watch them drown. What? So from jump, you said this is going to be a 60-minute game. They are some punks, and they think we're going to quit. But we're going to bring the fight to them and make them quit. We're going to go into their element and out-Miami them and make them the punks that they think that we are. Because we're going to hit them in the mouth again and again and again. And we're not going to go anywhere. And we're not going to bend and we're not going to fold. And you know who's going to fucking fold? Miami. And that came 100% true. And he said it. We saw that they're soft. We see that they don't got the heart. They're not built like that. They are not about that action. But Spartans are about that action. And we're going to go be about that action, and they're going to fold. And what happened? Let me pull up the stats. In the fourth quarter, go back, load it, please. In the fourth quarter, 21-3. In the second half, 28-10 for Michigan State. In our building. In the hot sun, that's supposed to be our advantage. We've been out here all the time running these gassers, running the hills that there are to be, in the sand pits and everything like that. And Mel Tucker on film said that team is soft, physically and mentally. And we're going to go whoop their ass. And they're going to fold because they don't want it. And was 100% right. And that's where, and after that performance, tying it back together, right? So after that performance, then you get on the microphone as Manny Diaz and say, everything we have to play for is still there in front of us. You just got your ass whooped on national television. And the coach afterwards said, we know they soft. We're going to prove they soft because they some punks. And now you want to talk about, oh, we got something else. Bro, you weren't ready for the fight? He literally called y'all out and called y'all soft, called y'all punks. You had nothing to fight for then? You got no pride? Pride on the U being a Miami Hurricane? You damn near let Appalachian State do the same thing. Miami's about 2-3 plays to be away from being winless just like Florida State. Truth be told, let the liquor tell it. But you want to talk about, oh, there's this and this and this. What have you done to show and prove that you can really even be in the conversation for any of these things that you want to play for? You think you're going to beat Virginia on a Thursday night? I don't. Should you have? Yeah. You think you're going to go, wherever you got to go to beat Carolina? They can line that up on Mars, and Carolina's averaging the most yards per play in the country. I know their defense is giving up a lot, but your offense is, bereft of any kind of performance. 117th in yards per play, 119th in points scored and everything like that. You want to talk about that? And they're 8.3 yards per play across the season? But you got to be a shootout team. You got to do that against their defense. You haven't proven that you can do that against anybody's defense. But we have all these things to play for now. We're supposed to say, okay, well, wait. 1-2 in the first 3 games. We were joking around, guys. We weren't being serious. We weren't being real. But we're going to be serious. We're going to be real because we have things to play for. We have games that we need to play strongly in. Again, Michigan State called y'all some punks from front and proved it and said, we told y'all we was going to prove that they punks. And we came into their barn and did that to them, and they had nothing to say about it. But I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden we're going to, do what I predicted that we were going to do and go 10-2. Play for everything, win the ACC Coastal. And the more frustrating thing, Jordan Bowman here in the comments and everything, bro, Clemson fan that he is, the more frustrating thing for me, and I tweeted this, if ever there was a year to get Clemson, it's this year. Because they're some mid. DJ Uiagalelei, bro, he's a good college quarterback, but he has some clear deficiencies, and he's not the next elevation of a generational quarterback that they've had for the last 5. He's definitely a clear step down from Sunshine. You can see some, bro, they eked out a win last week. If you're talking about, okay, if you have 91% returning offense, if you have the second most returning starts of any offensive line in the country, you have, coming in, one of the more demonstratedly awesome high school or college quarterbacks, and in high school as well, because he went 47-2 or whatever. All these different kind of things. If you have something coming into the year pointing towards, hey, this season is a season we should push for 10 or 11 wins, be able to compete against, and maybe squeak by Clemson, because there are chinks in that armor, because they are not Clemson kind of national championship blowing out Alabama good, and you're going to waste this damn opportunity? But we have everything to play for. Because we weren't being serious before, guys. But gosh darn it, tell you, we're going to be better next week. What evidence do I have to believe that?
Good point. Because the teams that do compete and win conference championships also play that way in non-conference games.
More often than not.
Yes, more often than not.
And you might have a G5 conference, okay, their champion who, okay, App State goes somewhere, okay, you lost by 3 touchdowns. But I say that, and they're in the Sun Belt, but, we barely squeak by that. But, it would be something like that. But, yeah, you play like it. You are who you are. You're not going to change overnight. God, I wish that I could. Me being 265 or whatever pounds right now, I would love to wake up tomorrow and be back in my high school weight. I would love to be 185 pounds. Wake up tomorrow morning, hey, all these clothes that don't fit anymore, they fit and everything. This face has gotten rounder as you've been watching this. It gets a little bit thinner and things. I would love to wake up tomorrow and have that happen. It does not happen overnight, fam. So this team that you're claiming that you have in this locker room is not going to undergo that same kind of transformation overnight. It doesn't happen that way, because if it did, and if you were actually like that, you would have done something about it. Maybe against Michigan State. Maybe you would have shown some kind of resistance against Alabama before they went Operation Shutdown at 27-0 in the first half, because, I'm not even going to run hard against these guys anymore, because if we do, we're going to score 1,000,000 points. So, I'm going to take it a little bit easy. We're up 27-0. Most everybody's turned off the television already or turned it on to do something else. Or, hey, shout out to the Solid Verbal. Maybe they're taking their window of opportunity because Miami's getting their doors blown off. I'm going to go do something else before the 8 p.m. game tonight or whatever. But, you don't change overnight. You are who you are. But, maybe you change some things up in the lineup. Maybe you change your process a little bit, which Rhett Lashley said, maybe they got to practice a little bit differently. Lord knows they need some different play calls. Although, there have been some times that he's dialed some stuff up that's either not been thrown or not been able to be thrown because of protection issues, which then, hey, is a great call, is a great play call if you can't throw the ball. That's one of those, if a tree falls in the wood things, does it make a sound? The answer is yes. There are sound waves. There might not be somebody where they hear it, but a sound is made, in case you were wondering. But, there are way more questions than there are answers for the Miami Hurricanes right now. And this is getting close to, it's not worst case scenario, because worst case scenario would be 0-3 with the loss to Appalachian State, which again is but a couple plays away from having happened. but it's not comfortable right now.
Considering what you just said about the App State game, if you were in charge, if you were making the call on the current coach and whether he stays or who would be the replacement, you're in charge. Do you look at that App State game as just, okay, win's a win, it's in the win column, it's all that matters, or evaluate it as such? If you really look at the game tape, hey, if they complete another 15-yard pass, it's a loss. So basically the evaluation of the coaching and the preparedness of the team and all that is exactly it's pretty much the same win or lose.
Yeah. I mean, and how am I evaluating that game? I mean, like, look, you could call it, let's call it 4 plays. So let's call 2 plays that App State made or didn't make that they could have made, and 2 plays that Miami made that they could not have made. But you're within a handful of plays either way. It could have, 1 and 2, 2 and whatever. Less than 5 plays go differently, Miami loses that game. I think that the result on Saturday against Michigan State informs the game against Appalachian State. In a vacuum, I still don't think it's proper. I still don't think it meets the standard. But especially then when you back that up with the next performance, that makes that one look even worse to me. Now, I know that there's a win, not a loss on the ledger, but no, I'm not high on that effort. I'm not high on that performance. A win is a win, and a win is better than the loss, but you're walking a razor's edge in that specific instance. So that's not, that's not 41-8 against Notre Dame, where it's definitively, this is good, even with the couple things that kept it from being a shutout. This is demonstrably good. This is a feather in that coach's hat. This elevates their status. The Appalachian State game is not that for me.